The electricity bill arrives on a Tuesday, stamped final notice in angry red ink. Naomi Harper stares at it across the kitchen table, her second coffee going cold in her hand. Behind her, 6-year-old Mina hums while coloring, and 4-year-old June builds a tower from wooden blocks. They don't know the lights might not turn on tomorrow. They don't know their father has been gone for 8 months. They don't know she's been lying every single night when she says Apple will come home soon. She crumples the bill and shoves it in her pocket before they notice. "Miss Naomi?" Mina looks up, dark eyes too perceptive. "Are you sad?" "Never, baby." Naomi forces brightness into her voice. "Finish your picture. I need to get ready for work." Work number 1. Morning shift at Seoul Garden, a Korean restaurant in Itaewon where she preps vegetables and washes dishes from 6 to noon. Work number 2. Afternoon receptionist at a gym 3 subway stops away. Work number 3. Overnight convenience store clerk, midnight to 6 a.m., 3 times a week. Somewhere in the margins, she feeds these children, helps with homework, pretends their father didn't disappear the night his business trip turned permanent. 9 months earlier, this is temporary. Kong Jae-sung stands in the doorway of the luxury apartment. Expensive luggage already packed. 2 months, maybe 3. The Singapore expansion needs direct oversight. Naomi sets down the coffee she was making him. 3 months is a long time. The kids will miss you. They have you. He crosses to her, touches her cheek with the careful affection of a man who doesn't quite know how to love. "You're better with them anyway." They married 6 months ago, a practical arrangement that somehow became real. His wife died in childbirth with June. He needed help with 2 small children and a demanding criminal empire. She needed immigration papers and a fresh start after Atlanta chewed her up and spit her out. They'd met at a Korean community center where she volunteered teaching English. He proposed after 4 conversations and 1 very thorough background check. "I'm their nanny who got upgraded," Naomi reminds him. "Not their mother. You're my wife. That makes you their mother." His phone buzzes. Always buzzing. "I've arranged everything. Money transfers automatically. Mrs. Kim downstairs will check on you. If there's any trouble, call Tae-min." Tae-min is his second in command, cold-eyed and efficient. "Jae-sum." She catches his hand. "Be careful. Whatever you're really doing in Singapore, import-export." The lie is smooth, rehearsed. They both know his business involves things that never see customs paperwork. He kisses her forehead, businesslike. He's never kissed her mouth. Never touched her beyond practical affection. She knew the terms when she signed the marriage certificate. "Take care of them," he says. And leaves. That was 9 months ago. The money transfer stopped after 2 months. Mrs. Kim moved away after 3. Taemin's number goes straight to voicemail, disconnected. Every contact she has for Jae-sun's organization has vanished like smoke. She reported him missing after 4 months. The police took one look at her black face and his criminal associations and said they'd investigate. They haven't called back. So Naomi does what she's always done, survives. Present day, the restaurant owner, Mr. Park, slides her paycheck across the stainless steel counter. "Naomi, I need to talk to you." Her stomach drops. She knows that tone. "Business is slow. I have to cut morning prep hours. I'm sorry. Please." The word comes out desperate. "I can work faster, take less breaks. It's not about your work. You're excellent. But I can't afford the hours." He won't meet her eyes. "I'll give you 2 weeks. 2 weeks. She does the math walking to the subway. Losing the restaurant means losing 1/3 of her income. The gym job barely covers food. The convenience store pays rent. Everything else, electricity, water, internet for Mina's online school programs, June's asthma, medication, comes from the restaurant. She has exactly 43,000 won in her bank account. At the gym, she smiles at members and answers phones and pretends her hands aren't shaking. At 7 p.m., she picks up the kids from the neighbor who watches them for a price Naomi can barely afford. They eat rice and eggs for dinner. Again, "I want galbi," June pouts. Appa always made galbi. This weekend, Naomi promises, knowing she can't afford it. Special treat. After the kids sleep, she sits at the kitchen table and opens her laptop. Types "Emergency Loans Korea Foreigner" into the search bar. The results are predatory lenders and worse. She closes the laptop. She could call her sister in Atlanta, could beg for money. But pride is sometimes all you have left. The convenience store shift passes in a blur of stocking shelves and ringing up drunk salarymen. At 4 a.m., a man in an expensive suit walks in. Designer shoes, Rolex watch, face mask hiding his features. He buys a single coffee, pays with a black card, never speaks. Something about him makes Naomi's skin prickle. He does the same thing the next night. And the fourth night, he finally speaks. You look tired. His voice is familiar. But it can't be. He pulls down the mask. Naomi's heart stops. Kong Jae-sung stands in the fluorescent lights of a convenience store at 4 in the morning, looking at her like she's a ghost. What are you doing here? He asks quietly. The question is so absurd, she almost laughs. Working? What does it look like? You should be home. With the children. Using the money. He stops. Understanding crosses his face. The transfer stopped. 5 months ago. His jaw tightens. I've been sending money. Every week. 50 million won total. I haven't seen a single one. He pulls out his phone, pulls up banking records, shows her. The transfers are all there, going to an account she doesn't recognize. Someone's stealing from you, Naomi says. From us. Jae-sung's expression goes absolutely cold. How many jobs are you working? 3. How many meals are you eating per day? She doesn't answer. Naomi. His voice cracks on her name. How long have you been doing this alone? 9 months. Since the night you left. He closes his eyes like she struck him. When he opens them, something fundamental has shifted. I'm coming home, he says. Right now? We're going to fix this. You can't just watch me. The apartment at 6 a.m. looks different with Jae-sung in it. He fills the space, makes it smaller and safer simultaneously. He's already on his phone, speaking rapid Korean that Naomi's too tired to follow. She makes coffee with shaking hands, aware of him moving through rooms he hasn't seen in 9 months. He stops at the kids' bedroom door. Just stands there, watching them sleep. They've grown, he whispers. That's what happens. Naomi hands him coffee. You miss 9 months. You miss everything. The words come out harsher than intended, but she's too exhausted for diplomacy. He takes them like a blow. Tell me everything. Every detail. So she does. The stopped payments. The ghosted contacts. The slow erosion of savings into nothing. 3 jobs. Rice and eggs. Jun's medication rationed. Mina asking why they never go anywhere anymore. Jae-sung listens without interrupting, his expression carved from ice. When she finishes, he makes a call. Taemin. My office. 1 hour. He listens, then says something in Korean that makes his voice drop to Arctic temperatures. Hangs up. Get some sleep. I'll stay with the kids. I have the gym shift at. You're done working. Effective immediately. You can't just. I'm your husband. They're my children. This is my failure to fix. He meets her eyes. Please, Naomi. Let me fix this. She should argue. Should remind him that he left. That she managed alone. That she doesn't need saving. But she's so tired. She sleeps 4 hours and wakes to children's laughter. Stumbles to the kitchen to find Jae-sung making pancakes, badly, while Mina directs him and Jun bangs a spoon against the table. Appa's home. Jun shrieks when he sees her. He came back. I told you he would, Naomi says softly. Jae-sung's eyes meet hers over the kids' heads. Thank you, he mouths. After breakfast, his driver arrives. Stay here, Jae-sung tells Naomi. I'll be back by dinner. We'll talk then. Where are you going? To have a conversation with the man who stole from my family. The coldness in his voice makes her shiver. He returns at 6 p.m. with groceries, new clothes for the kids, and an envelope of cash. The money will be back in your account by tomorrow, he says, setting bags on the counter. All of it, plus compensation. The man responsible is no longer an issue. Naomi doesn't ask what that means. Doesn't want to know. Why did you come back? The question has been burning all day. You could have just fixed the money situation remotely. Jae-sung stills. Sets down the grocery bag carefully. I saw you at that convenience store, and I realized I've been lying to myself for 9 months. About what? About why I stayed away. He turns to face her. Singapore was important, yes. But I could have come home on weekends. Could have video called the kids. I stayed away because being here, with you, terrified me. Naomi's breath catches. Why? Because this was supposed to be a practical arrangement. Marriage for papers. Help with the children. Mutual benefit. No feelings. His voice roughens. But somewhere between your terrible jokes at breakfast and the way you sing to Mina at bedtime and how you taught Jun to tie his shoes, I fell in love with you. And I didn't know what to do with that. The words hang between them, fragile and enormous. So you ran? Naomi says. So I ran. I'm very good at violence and strategy. Very bad at being vulnerable. He steps closer. I told myself you'd be fine. You were capable, strong, you had the money. I didn't let myself think about what you might need beyond financial support. What did I need? You needed your husband. You needed the kids to have their father. You needed not to carry everything alone. His hand lifts, hesitant, touches her cheek. You needed someone to see you working yourself to death and say stop. I see you. You're not alone anymore. Naomi's eyes burn. I was so angry at you. You should be. I abandoned you. But I also missed you, which made me angrier. She covers his hand with hers. The kids cried for you. Every night. For weeks, Mina asked when Apple was coming home. Pain crosses his face. I can't undo those 9 months. But I'm here now. Completely. No more Singapore. No more running. He pauses. Unless you want me to leave. If you've decided this arrangement isn't working, it stopped being an arrangement somewhere around month 2, Naomi interrupts. When you learned to braid Mina's hair. When you taught me to make kimchi. When you held my hand during that scary movie, even though you don't get scared. I was scared of the movie. Liar. His smile is soft, real, the one he saves for private moments. I was scared of how much I wanted to keep holding your hand. Jae-sung. She takes a breath. I need to know this is real. Not obligation. Not guilt. If you're staying, I need you to stay because you want this life. This family. Me. I want this so much it rewrote everything I thought I knew about myself. He pulls her closer. I've killed men for lesser offenses than what I did to you. Left you struggling, alone, believing I didn't care. How do I make that right? You start by staying. By being present. By letting me be your partner instead of your employee. You were never, wasn't I? You gave orders, provided money, kept her real life separate. Her voice is gentle but firm. I need equal partnership. Full honesty. No more protecting me from your world by leaving me in the dark. He's quiet for a long moment. Then, my name isn't on the Singapore business. It was a set-up, rival organization trying to trap me. I've spent 9 months dismantling their operation piece by piece. It's why I couldn't come home. They had surveillance on my family. Naomi's blood runs cold. The kids were in danger? Not anymore. As of 3 days ago, the threat is eliminated. His jaw tightens. I stayed away to protect you. But in doing so, I left you vulnerable to a different threat. Poverty, exhaustion, desperation. I made the wrong choice. You made the choice you thought was right. It was still wrong. And it stops now. He kisses her forehead. Full partnership. Complete honesty. Starting with this, I love you. Not conveniently. Not practically. Completely. And I'm terrified of losing you. Then don't leave again. Never. He kisses her then. Really kisses her, for the first time since their wedding. It's soft and certain and tastes like coming home. The financial recovery takes 2 weeks. Jae-sung's former associate, the one who'd been skimming money, returns every stolen one plus 50 million in damages. Naomi doesn't ask about the conversation that produced that result. She's learning which questions not to ask. The apartment transforms. Jae-sung sets up a proper office, starts working from home 3 days a week. The kids adjust with startling speed, like they've been waiting for permission to love him openly. Mina shadows him everywhere. June insists on helping with phone calls, babbling importantly into a toy phone while Jae-sung conducts actual business. Naomi quits all 3 jobs. The freedom is disorienting. What do I do with myself? She asks one afternoon, watching Jae-sung teach the kids chess. Whatever you want. Rest. Paint. Learn Korean. Start that consulting business you mentioned once. I mentioned that at 3 a.m. while half asleep. I remember everything you say. He moves his night. I've been memorizing you for months. The consulting business becomes real. Naomi starts small, helping foreign families navigate Seoul's systems, connecting them with resources, offering cultural guidance. Within 2 months, she has 6 clients. Within 4, she's hired an assistant. You're good at this, Jae-sung says, reviewing her business plan. Building networks, solving problems, making people feel safe. Learn from the best. His eyebrow lifts. I make people feel terrified. You make your family feel safe. Same skills, different application. He pulls her into his lap. The casual intimacy still new enough to make her heart race. They're learning each other slowly. How he takes his coffee. How she likes to be held. the rhythm of shared mornings and quiet evenings. The crisis comes on a Saturday. Naomi's meeting a new client at a cafe when 3 men approach. Expensive suits, cold eyes. One sits down uninvited. "Mrs. Khan, we've heard about your business. Very impressive. Every instinct screams danger. Thank you. If you'll excuse me, we have a proposition. Our organization helps foreign workers navigate Seoul. We'd like to partner with your consulting service. I'm not interested in partnerships. Perhaps you should reconsider. Your husband has made enemies. It would be unfortunate if your business suffered because of his choices." The thread is delicate, unmistakable. Naomi stands. "You need to leave. Mrs. Khan, my wife told you to leave." Jae-sung's voice cuts across the cafe. He's suddenly there, flanked by 2 of his men. "I suggest you listen." The men pale. The leader recovers quickly. "We meant no disrespect. Simply a business offer. You threatened my wife's business. That's not an offer. That's a mistake." Jae-sung's smile is terrible. "Leave Seoul. Today, or I'll make you regret every word you spoke to her." They leave. Naomi's hands shake as Jae-sung guides her to the car. "How did you know? I always have someone watching you." Discreetly, he cups her face. "Are you okay? Angry? Scared? Relieved you showed up?" "I'll always show up." He kisses her forehead. "But we need to talk about your safety protocols. If you're building a public business, you're visible. That makes you a target." They spend the evening strategizing. Security measures. Vetting clients. Emergency contacts. Jae-sung is practical, thorough, treating her business as seriously as his own operations. "I won't let this stop me," Naomi says. "I won't hide because your world is dangerous." "I'm not asking you to hide. I'm asking you to let me protect you while you build something extraordinary." His eyes are soft. "You spent 9 months protecting my children alone. Let me protect you now. Partnership, remember?" "Partnership," she agrees. The months unfold into rhythm. Naomi's business grows. Jae-sung gradually steps back from the most dangerous aspects of his organization, delegating to trusted people, choosing family over empire. They're not perfect. They argue about his protective instincts, her stubborn independence, how much to tell the kids. About Appa's real work. But they're real. 1 year after Jae-sung came home, they renew their vows. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. Mina and June stand beside them, solemn in matching hanbok. "I promise to stay," Jae-sung says, his vows simple and devastating. "To show up. To choose you every single day. I promise to let you," Naomi replies. "To trust you. To build this life together instead of carrying everything alone." They exchange new rings, partnership, not convenience. That night, after the kids are asleep, they sit on the balcony watching Seoul's lights. "Do you regret it?" Naomi asks. "Marrying me for papers and ending up with actual feelings?" "Every day." At her look, he laughs. "I regret not falling for you sooner. Not kissing you on our wedding day. Wasting 9 months afraid of wanting this. We got here eventually." "We did." He pulls her close. "You know what I think about? That convenience store. You were half dead on your feet, working 3 jobs for children who weren't even yours biologically. You could have left, put them in the system, gone back to America. But you stayed. They're mine. Biology doesn't determine family. No. Loved us. You loved them when I wasn't there to see it. Sacrificed everything." His voice roughens. "I don't deserve you, but I'm selfish enough to keep you anyway." "Good. Because I'm not going anywhere." 5 years later, Naomi's consulting firm has 15 employees. Jae-sung has transitioned most of his operations to legitimate business, though he still maintains connections that make certain people nervous. Mina is 11 and wants to be a lawyer. June is 9 and has decided Appa's boring office work is actually very cool. They've expanded the apartment, bought a weekend house outside Seoul, adopted a dog that Jae-sung pretends to merely tolerate while secretly slipping it treats. "We're disgustingly domestic," Naomi says one Sunday morning, watching Jae-sung attempt to cook breakfast while the kids argue about whose turn it is to walk the dog. "We are." He doesn't sound remotely sorry. Who would have thought? Crime boss turned pancake dad. "You're still bad at pancakes." "I'm excellent at pancakes. You're just spoiled." She kisses him, laughing. "Thank you for coming home. Thank you for keeping it standing until I did." He pulls her close, the kids shrieking in mock disgust. "Best decision I ever made. Walking into that convenience store. Best decision I made was getting in your car 9 years ago." Trusting a strange Korean man offering marriage for papers? Trusting that sometimes the most practical arrangements become the most extraordinary love stories. Their story spreads through Seoul's underground. The black woman who worked 3 jobs to save his children, and the crime boss who came home and never left. It becomes legend, whispered proof that even the most dangerous men can be undone by love. That family is what you choose and fight for. That partnership means showing up even when it's terrifying. Naomi never works 3 jobs again. But she never forgets what it taught her, that she's stronger than she knew, that love is action before feeling, that the best families are built on choice and sacrifice and showing up, again and again, even when it's hard. And Jae-sung never leaves again, because he learned that the scariest thing in his dangerous world isn't rival organizations or police investigations. It's coming home to an empty apartment because the woman you love is working herself to death and you weren't there to stop it. So he stays. They stay, building a life that started with desperation and became devotion, proving that sometimes the best love stories begin with a practical arrangement and end with everything: partnership, passion, family, home, and the absolute certainty that you'll fight for each other through anything. That's where their story settles, not into perfection, but into the messy, beautiful reality of choosing each other every single day.